will advance to face the winner of Nanterre's tie against Besiktas. So these are two-legged affairs. The first game here this week, and the return leg will be back in Italy next week. And without question, Segafredo, Virtus Bologna starting as favorites, but the intriguing aspect of these playoffs is that you have Le Mans at home. Just as Nanterre 92 will be at home, another French club hosting a Besiktas team that's going to be very tough. Segafredo, Virtus Bologna, one of the all-time famous clubs really in European basketball history. They've won so many trophies during their time. Are they going to add a basketball Champions League trophy to their cabinet? Well, they've got a long way to go, and they have provided a lot of evidence that they're certainly good enough to do it. But the question is, can they be consistent and be convincing? Well, Kevin Punter, Kelvin Martin, Yannick Morea, Alessandro Paiola, Tony Taylor, Filippo Balderossi, Alessandro Capelletti, Dejan Kravic, Mario Chalmers, who's signed with this club and joining, Pietro Aradori, Amath Mbai, and David Corno. And for Le Mans, a team that probably a lot of people did not think was going to make it, but they ended up finishing fourth in Group A behind Nizhny Novgorod. Kendrick Ray, new addition, Richard Hendricks, Antoine Eto, Valentin Bigot, Terry Tarpe, Peter Corneli, Wilfred Yigiti, Jonathan Tabu, Michael Thompson, Cameron Clark, and Brahim Dohu. So Virtus is going to be introduced here to the crowd, and they know that Kevin Punter has already tasted what that championship success is. He won it last year with Ike. He leads them out, followed by Kelvin Martin, really one of the premier defenders in the Basketball Champions League. Yannick Morea, who just has oozes with potential. And then Tony Taylor, perhaps the most underrated of point guards in this Basketball Champions League. When the money is on the line, he is excellent. Amath Mbai has really emerged. There you see Pietro Aradori, the Italy international, David Cornu. You know, this is a talented team, but talent alone doesn't win. They've got to come out and they've got to execute the game plan. And we've already seen it once on opening day of the round of 16, where Nizhny Novgorod, starting as underdogs, even as a home team, you would think going up against Umana Venezia, won convincingly the first leg, and they won that game 95-72. And if that isn't a wake-up call or a reminder to the danger of this first game in the round of 16 for all of the road teams, then nothing will. This Le Mans team deserves to be here. They won the games when they had to win them, and they finished 7-7. And if you look back at their finish to the season, you'll understand how they had to grind out some results just to make it this far. It was an exciting finish. They won their last 3 games at home to Nizhny Novgorod, which, having seen Nizhny Novgorod just win their game, that was an impressive win. They won that one by 15. Then Le Mans hit the road and won at Citygas Avellino, 81-68. And then Le Mans won on February 5th, the game that they had to win at home against Anvil, 88-79. And the one common theme in those 3 wins is they were all double-digit victories, with the exception of that last one. In fact, it was a 9-point win against Anvil, and that one also went to overtime. So that was a real thriller. In Le Mans, their season hung in the balance in that game, but they got a couple of late Antoine Eto 3-pointers to force the overtime and ended up winning it by 9 points. Valentin Bigot led the way with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in that game. So look past these guys if you want to at your own risk, because if they can put it all together, and it looks like they can, this is a team that can go on a deep playoff run. But tonight, without question, is the night when they have to really throw down the gauntlet to the rest of the competition. They cannot expect to go to Italy on the back of a loss and really come out victorious in this tie. This Virtus Bologna team I would think, would be far too difficult to play in Italy and expect to get a convincing win. So all the pressure, perhaps, is it on Le Mans? Is it on Segafredo, Virtus Bologna? It depends who you talk to. I mean, Segafredo, Virtus Bologna, everybody expects them to win. So, yes, they've got pressure. But Le Mans, if they're the underdogs, they can play with freedom. But at the same time, they're at home, and they know tonight is the night that they have to really deliver. The referees for tonight's game lining up: Martins Kozlovskis from Latvia, Fernando Calatrava on the left from Spain, and Michael Proch from Poland on the right. And we'll eventually get a look at the starting fives for both teams. Segafredo, Virtus Bologna, for the longest time, were unbeaten in this competition. And as we saw the strong finish by their opponents here, look, Tony Taylor, punter, Aradori, Mbai, and Yannick Moreira in the starting five for Virtus tonight. As Le Mans finished strong their season, this Segafredo Virtus Bologna team lost. There's Stefano Sacropani, the head coach. They lost 2 of their last 3 games, but ultimately on February 6th, they stopped the rot with a 98-91 win over Prometheus Patras. There's Eto, the hero of, really one of the heroes of the last game, with those 2 clutch three-pointers. And Michael Thompson, Kendrick Ray right into the starting lineup. That's interesting. Valentin Bigot, Cam Clark, and Wilfred Yegete in the starting 5 for Le Mans. Kendrick Ray, of course, has been playing in the Basketball Champions League, but with Ches Nimberg. And Eric Bartoszewski is the coach of Le Mans. As they go through their final instructions and warm-ups, let me remind you to go to the Basketball Champions League website, championsleague.basketball, for all the latest information, news, features. Well, you heard Bartoszewski implore his players to play defense. He thinks that's where this one's going to be won. You got to stop the other team, no doubt about it. But you also got to have some of that fluidity on offense, which has disappeared from time to time for this Le Mans team. It's really interesting that Kendrick Ray's in that starting lineup. And Tony Taylor. Well, hello everybody, good evening, and welcome to the Basketball Champions League showdown between Le Mans and Segafredo Virtus Bologna. Kendrick Ray, who spent that first season in the Basketball Champions League with Ches Nimberg, now in the lineup of Le Mans, just signed with the club, and he's got the ball in his hands. It's the round of 16 game. This is the first leg, and the second leg will be next week in Bologna. Michael Thompson bounced pass right into the hands, but fumbled away by Yegete. Now Punter, who won the title last year with Ike Athens before joining Virtus. Hands it off to Taylor, and now it's down to Aradori, who turns on the baseline. Thompson for three. His attempt rattles out, but the offensive rebound and putback attempt no good by Clark, but then the rebound by Bigot. Now Yegete goes in and makes a tough shot. Wilfred Yegete. Taylor whips it out to Amat Mbaye, and now gets it to Punter. That's his range, but a little long for Kevin Punter. Now Ray, you see what he brings to the team, the pace, the skill. Beautiful pass to Mbaye in the corner, and the France international misses it. An air ball. Now Taylor drifts in, hands it off to Moreira, and the Angola international puts it up and in for Virtus Bologna's 2 points of the game. So Clark whistled for the first foul of the game. Interesting that you've got in this Virtus lineup, Moreira, Mbaye, and Aradori, who each played for their countries during the European, or the World Cup qualifiers, rather, because Angola play in Africa, and have helped their teams qualify for the World Cup, and it remains to be seen which, if any, will make it. I'm guessing Moreira and Aradori are dead certainties to play at the World Cup, and Mbaye probably will be named in the preliminary squad of France. It'll be probably the biggest ask for him to make that talented team. Here's a foul off the ball, and now Kendrick Ray penetrates, gets it back to Yegete. Wow, nice little early offensive contribution from a player that I would suggest is not your biggest scorer in Yegete, and if he can hit that shot, that changes everything for Le Mans. Averaged 6.6 points per game in the Champions League, and he's already got 4. Now Punter goes in, hangs in the air, and takes some contact and draws the foul. So Kendrick Ray picks up the foul. So Kendrick Ray, expect him to play big minutes tonight. Also, we'll see Mario Chalmers come in, who's been a late addition to this Virtus team before the playoffs. Punter misses the first. And makes the second. Thompson played with Besiktas in the Basketball Champions League before. Here's Bigot. Mbaye collects the board. Outlet pass to Punter. Moreira, who started the season with Pauk, has the ball knocked out of his hands by Yegete. Beautiful bounce pass, Thompson, and into Clark. Excellent play by the point guard, and the finish by Clark. Aradori Yegete again. Look at him. Get on the floor. Wilfred Yegete coming out and owning the opening minutes here for Le Mans. Look at this. And I'm not sure what Adadori's trying to do there, trying to split the two defenders. Somebody's got to be open. And he almost turns it over. Three-pointer is good for Taylor, and that knots it at 6. Now off and running is punter. Adadori goes baseline, almost turns it over. Shaky start for Adadori, and now almost a layup, but good defense by Taylor over to Mbai. That is a 5, maybe 6-point swing with that one turnover by Le Mans. Well, he got a game day player of the week this season. Mbai, that's the highest honor you can get in the Basketball Champions League. He has been tough for this Virtus Bologna team. Valentin Bigot passes it back outside to Clark. Puts it up from deep. Bigot with the rebound. He's going to put it up from 3. Good! Well, that's what offensive rebounds do for you. They give you new life, and Valentin Bigot takes advantage. Taylor has it taken away by Yegete. Another outstanding play by Wilfred Yegete, the former Florida Gator. Putting it up from deep. Kendrick Ray, and look at this, Le Mans back in front. Back-to-back three-pointers. Mbai. Adadori. Over to Mbai. Again, another one, and for the second time, Mbai gets an air ball. Ray. Is this a ray of hope for this Le Mans team? Oh, almost a travel there. I think it might have gone unnoticed, although it was bumped. Morea. Over to Mbai again. Well, he's got 2 3-pointers, and he's also got 2 air balls. I suppose if you're going to shoot 50%, no matter what it's like from 3-point range, you'll take it. Kendrick Ray explodes and lays it up and in. Adadori goes up and hits the baseline jumper. And fouled as well on the play by Michael Thompson. Not too much contact there. But the foul was called, so he will go to the line. This is Ray. So the game knotted at 14, and Kelvin Martin has checked into the game. Mario Chalmers also in the game now, number 15. Oh, they're looking to see if Bigot's attempt from there was indeed a three. It looked like it was. And indeed it was. So you've got the capacity to review it. They did. And Adadori makes the free throw. So 15-14, the advantage. And the ball kicked. So they're going to put 14 on the shot clock. Ato in the game, inbounds it to Tarpe, who's in, goes off 1 foot. And Ato back to Tarpe. Now Richard Hendricks, who spins, turns, goes up and scores with a left hand. You really get the feeling this Le Mans team has kind of turned the corner when you've got Ato, Tarpe, and Hendricks all coming off the bench. Although that time Kravic scored with ease. Nice pass by Chalmers. And Kevin Martin called for a foul. I tell you what, Kendrick Ray, well, that was just a light touch, if anything. Kendrick Ray, this is a great matchup. Watch this one. Kelvin Martin and Kendrick Ray. Terrific offensive player like Ray. Martin takes a backseat to no one defensively. Ray for three. Not a bad addition to the team, I'd say. Drive and the finish. Oh, what a sweet finish that time by Chalmers. Chalmers, 32 years of age, obviously has the big name. Played for several years in the NBA. Now, missed free throw, they get another chance. Mbai back over to Chalmers. Mbai, good! 3 3-pointers in the opening quarter from Mbai. Oh, Hendricks just got terrific position that time on Kravic. Looked like he could have just not laid it up any easier. Beautiful drive and finish by Martin this time. So this is Mario Chalmers' debut for Virtus in this game, and he's hoping it's going to be a memorable one. He gets that rebound, hands it off, gets it back. David Cornu, a little bit long. Two-time NBA champion Chalmers. Now Lamont, 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ray Clark bats it out of bounds or puts pressure on the rebounder. So it'll stay down at this end. They want to see whose ball this is. I thought it would have been Virtus' possession. I know they're looking to see that was a three. Yeah, that was easily a three-pointer. Kozlovskis, the Latvian referee, raises both arms to signify the three-pointer was good. Hendricks over to Ato. Final 15 seconds. Ato gets into position to guard Chalmers. Now the screen and the switch. This should favor Chalmers. He's going to put up a three, but it was long. And Martin rebounded it. Not enough time. So a very interesting first quarter indeed. It's Segafredo, Virtus Bologna leading at 24-21. Six of 13 inside the arc for Le Mans, 3 of 7 from deep. Bologna 4 of 8 from deep and 5 of 8 inside the arc. They've also been to the line, but only made 2 of 5. See Kendrick Ray making that pass. You know, he really is a game changer for this Le Mans team. You could see it early on. Yegate was terrific in that first quarter, as was Thompson with that pass. But the deal with Kendrick Ray, he started his career, professional career with Ches Nimburg in the inaugural season of the Basketball Champions League, 2017-2018. And led them into the round of 16, or helped them get there. And ended up, he was the Czech League MVP, co-MVP, and also second team selection in the Basketball Champions League. All Champions League second team. Then he, after a brief spell with the Utah Jazz in their summer league, signed with Maccabi Tel Aviv for a couple of seasons. And in late February, he joined Le Mans on loan for the rest of the season. So keep an eye on him, although he's out of the game now, catching a breather. Good drive from Bigot. Ball knocked out of bounds. Look at him protecting the ball, and great defense. Certainly all ball knocked out. Corneli in the game now. He's going to inbound it. Ato gets a little space, hands it off to Hendricks. Beautiful soft release. Bounce pass to Kravic. Oh, nice answer by Dejan Kravic. Corneli set the pick on Corno, who rotated. Now, is he going to go to work on him? Yes, he is. That's a goal interference. The ball went off of the backboard before Kravic got a hand on it. You know, Corner Lee is a player that is not shy about putting the ball up from three-point range. And sometimes you wonder if he should spend more time inside. That time he had a size advantage on Corno and decided to go to the basket. And clearly, Kravic got a hand on it after it went off the glass. So Virtus back up by 1. Corno. Bounce pass to Kravic. Ah, beautiful finish with the left hand. Jonathan Tabou also in the game, the longtime Belgium international. Beautiful pass by Tabou to Richard Hendricks. That's about as slick as they come from Mr. Tabou, Monsieur Tabou. Corner Lee, the rebound, the outlet to Tabou. Again, another bounce pass, that one not as slick. Intercepted or taken away by Lamont. Tony Taylor bumped by Tabou, who spent many years playing in Spanish basketball, Zaragoza also with Bilbao. Mbye takes a seat. Excuse me, played with Zaragoza, Fuenlabrada as well, and Bilbao in Spain. Also played in Italy with Milano. There's Martin missing it in the paint. But the ball went, did the ball go off initially? It looked like they were going to give the ball to Virtus. So Le Mans have it. Bigot. Thought twice about it, decided to pass it back out instead of challenging Kravic. Eto'o almost dragged a foot, puts it up at the line. Good box out. Good box out down low by Filippo Balderossi. And fouled by Corner Lee. Kravic backing up Hendricks. Oh, what footwork from Kravic. Going up against a veteran and had his way. I tell you what, Hendricks hasn't stopped Kravic yet. He's got 8 points. And there's Martin wreaking havoc as usual, chasing the ball. Look at Kravic with a little spin to the left. Bounce pass to Hendricks. Ball rimmed out. Well, Virtus, their biggest lead of the game has been 3 points. Can they extend it here? No, they cannot. So that time a foul called on Corno, fouling Hendricks. So punter comes back into the game for David Corno. Taboo again with the bounce pass, but gets away from Bigot. Taylor with the bounce pass, and it's dunked by the hustling Kelvin Martin. Boy, he is end-to-end energy, isn't he? He loves to get out and run. Ato, back over to Bigot. Good! Money in the bank. Kravic faked the handoff, ends up passing it back out to Balderossi. Now punter, shot clock winding down. He's got to launch it. He does. And Corneli rebounds with authority. Bardashuki will like seeing that. Ato. Taboo for three. Missed everything. Had a hand in the face. Good D by the Italians. They know who the shooters are, although they didn't get Bigot the previous trip down. Now into the corner. Balderossi on the baseline. Good! Lamont desperate to get this man going. Ato. His pass off the hands of Hendricks. So Hendricks is going to take a seat, and Yekate is going to come back into the game, perhaps bring renewed emphasis on the defensive end. And Martin takes a well-deserved break with Pietro Aradori returning to the contest. Taylor tripped up by Michael Thompson, who's back in. And Taylor stretches out. There's Thompson. Yeah, he just kind of stuck his left knee in there as Taylor was going past. And he goes to check on him. Ato also goes out. Looks like he may have caught a finger to the eye or something. It's his right eye. Looks like he got an elbow. Look, it looks like it's swelling up. Goodness me. Nice finish from Virtus, and Bardashuki has seen enough.
Hey, send to the peak. You take inside of the peak, you go here. Send to the peak. Okay? After, before, he's 3 turnovers in a row. This way is the score. On a perdu la balle 3 fois.
Well, assist and turnovers, 6 and 5 for Le Mans, 9 and 4 for Segafredo, Virtus Bologna.
Outside, okay, here. Kendrick, okay, peak, just get back here et Valentin à 45, okay? Roll deep.
Like this. Have the run and goes out. We don't want pull a jumper for rain. We don't want.
Each team has 4 3-pointers.
Hey, now it's important, guys. We are only 2 fouls. 2 fouls.
Interesting, Sacropani's like, I want to see some fouling out here. We still got fouls to give. There's, look at it now. Check out his right eye there. He's got like a little swelling. It's like Rocky V coming out here tonight. Eye of the Tiger. They're going to play it. Oh, so he got hit by the referee. Unbelievable. smacked inadvertently by the ref. And here was Kendrick Ray again putting pressure on that Virtus defense. Well, it's been that kind of night for Antoine Eto'o. He's really struggled and ends up getting a hand. It looked like a hand to the eye as he was leaving by one of the referees. I think it was Kozlovskis. Danger time here for Le Mans. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half, and they're trailing by 6. It's been a really tight game. You don't want Virtus to start opening up any type of significant lead. Yegete goes inside. Good play by Baldirossi to deny him. Corneli hustled to save the ball in bounds, but it goes to Virtus. Great hustle back by Yegete. And now Tony Taylor knocks it away, and it's a 3-on-1 break. Adedori, no look, gets it out to Punter, and he puts up an air ball. Well, there's air balls everywhere tonight. Well, that's got to be the strangest injury of the season. A player getting an inadvertent hand to the eye by the referee as he was leaving the court. And that's what's happened to Eto'o of Le Mans. Thompson, a little runner. Oh, it didn't go down. And he's definitely a potential source of points for Le Mans. Punter, it looked like he might have gotten away with a charge. Now Kendrick Ray. Oh, what a finish by Kendrick Ray. He just took it coast to coast. Adedori for 3. Now Bigot. Will he go? Oh, a little Euro step action. Lays it up and in, and just like that, back to a 2-point game. Here he goes. Will he wait? He's like, nope, I'm going all the way. Well, opportunistic Le Mans here, cutting it back to a 2-point deficit. Turnovers for Le Mans.
Okay, you go fist up. You pass the ball and you come back. Fist up in offense. Fist up. Ready for the short roll. We have 2 fouls. Va bene. Andiamo, andiamo.
Whose team with 4 threes? Tell you, it's a Le Mans team that, see, ice to the eye there for Eto'o. Brain Trust, the front brass, the front office of Le Mans looking on. This Le Mans team is different. It really is a, you know, it's just not Kendrick Ray playing for this team now and Jonathan Tabou. It's just I think the fact that they've made it to the playoffs, they realize they have an opportunity now to do something for this club. And beautiful pass up ahead to Bigot, who goes up and ties the game. called on Le Mans, much to the dismay of these fans. Foul on Thompson. I'm not sure what else he can do defensively. 3 fouls on him. It's the one issue that he's always going to fight against when, especially a player like Chalmers of his experience, he's going to try to take advantage of the size, back him up. So Mario Chalmers makes the first. And he makes the second. Hey, how about that? And careful now, you don't want to injure another teammate. So Virtus fans making the trip to Le Mans to support their team tonight. What great fans they've got at Virtus. Bigot puts it up and in. Boy, he has been borderline sensational tonight. And Adadori looked like he was appealing for a foul. He lost the ball, but then he got it back and made a reverse layup. Here's Yegati, probably not option A, but Bigot is feeling it. And this time off target. Bigot had 15 in the win over Nizhny, 12 in the win over Città Savellino, and 23 over the win over Anvo. And that was to finish the season. So they started well tonight, and that is the end of the first half with that attempt. So all things considered, we've got ourselves a barn burner. Nice game. 40-38. Segafredo Virtus Bologna on top of Le Mans. Each team with 4 threes. Le Mans 13 of 25 inside the arc, and Bologna now 12 of 17. Le Mans have not attempted a free throw, whereas Bologna 4 of 7. Le Mans edging Virtus in the rebounds. Bologna with those 9 assists to 7, and each team with 5 steals. And each team with 6 turnovers. Well, it's been a great day for some clubs. As you look at the game leaders, Bigot leading Le Mans with 12 points. He's 2 of 4 from three-point range, 3 rebounds. Eto has the 2 assists. Mbai has the 3 three-pointers for Bologna. He's got 9 points. And Tony Taylor, as usual, right in the thick of things. He's got a couple of steals. Yegate has got the 3 steals for Le Mans. And Kendrick Ray, I think, bringing some much-needed quality to the team. He's got 10 points. Richard Hendricks has 8. Kravic has been a handful, though, for Hendricks and everybody else. He's come off the bench and scored 8 points. So here's some of the highlights from the first half. Kendrick Ray, you know, that Yegate scoring with those early jumpers, helping set the tone for Le Mans to let Virtus know this was not going to be an easy game for them. And this team does look focused tonight. Michael Thompson with that sweet pass to Cam Clark. And then Tony Taylor, opportunistic with the steal, gets it to Mbai for that 3-pointer. So a lot of good highlights. I'll let you digest them, and we will be right back before the start of the second half.
Dans le numéro 24, Amat Mbaye. On va appeler évidemment le prochain rendez-vous basket ici à Antalya. Ce sera dès ce dimanche 10 mars à 18h30. Le Mansart Basket recevra pour la 22e journée de Chip Elite l'Asvel Lyon-Villarval. Ouverture des portes à 15h30 pour le match ce soir. Sachez que vous pouvez réserver vos places dans les magasins de Clermont, Leclerc à l'Office de tourisme du Mans. Et bien évidemment aussi Geo-Restrictions et sur www.msb.fr. C'est la mi-temps, avec un plus intérim au changement. Et à base voyage, vous en avez l'habitude, vous avez sur les écrans géants. Dans Paris, les chiffres clés de cette journée de BCL, de ce huitième de finale aller de Ligue des Champions de basket. C'est la mi-temps de pour nous de saluer les différents partenaires du MSB présents en BCL comme en JPI. Sweet FM, la radio officielle du MSB, on vous rappelle tout le temps à Sweet FM. Vous pouvez remporter vos places pour le prochain match à domicile du MSB, ce sera donc ce dimanche. Vous écoutez Sweet FM au Mans sur 94.8. Et puis on salue également la caisse des marges de Pays la Loire, la CETRA, partenaire du MSB. Et puis l'hôtel Concordia et son restaurant Piquillon, partenaire du MSB. Le fournisseur officiel de la Ligue des Champions de basket. D'autres partenaires officiels du MSB à saluer tout de suite en Alors, reprenez vos places, mesdames, messieurs. Évidemment, vous avez été parfaits avant la première mi-temps. Encore 20 minutes pour encourager le Mans Basket pour que l'aventure continue le plus loin possible en PCR.
84-75, Ike on top of Pauk in that game, and also in the other game, Nizhny Novgorod winning 95-72 at home over Umana Rayovenetsa. Who else is going to win on opening day here in the Basketball Champions League? Well, at halftime, it's Virtus Bologna 40-38 on top of Le Mans here on the road, and Virtus. You know, it's not going to be easy. This Le Mans team, I think they've almost transformed, well, they've clearly transformed themselves with the addition of Ray, but even more importantly than that, they just seem to have more of a sense of purpose and focus about their game and really coming out and trading blows with one of the heavyweights in this competition. And why not? Maybe this will be the year that a French team really makes its mark, but they need to, they'll be thinking they need to get a good lead to take down to Italy. Look at Eto joking around with the referee who gave him the inadvertent hand to the eye, which led to the swelling. So in that first half, Virtus led by as many as 6 points, and the biggest lead for Le Mans was 3. If you're looking for a big difference in this game, Virtus getting 18 points from the bench to 10 for Le Mans.
On the top, the 5 men or the 4 men, it doesn't matter. It can be toi, Will, qui porte l'écran et Cameron here. Ok? Le gars en bas, il prend le baseline, on peut le faire des deux côtés. Ok? Quand on fait one. Ok? Hey, defense, allez! No trees and nine! One on one! Allez, allez! 1, 2, 3. Yeah, juice.
Well, in the now world-famous power rankings coming into the playoffs, Le Mans came in at number 16, dead last out of all the teams that made it to the playoffs, and Virtus came in at 10th. So if you want to read more about the power rankings, go to championsleague.basketball. And Mbai misses his first shot here in the second half, and Eto brings it forward. Guessing that the swelling has gone down his eye so he can see okay now. He was joking around right before halftime with the referee who gave him the hand to the eye. Oh, beautiful pass by Bigot. And then Yegate somehow missed the easiest shot in the world. I think the ball must have slipped out of his hands. And Tony Taylor goes to the other end and collides with Eto. Watch this. Looks like he may have hurt his hand, but now he's brought it back. And it's a 4-point game. So that was a 4-point swing. That miss followed by the Taylor shot. Clark misses, and Moreo with the rebound. The Angolan brings it up, hands it off to Kevin Punter. Puts it up from deep. And Bigot with another rebound. If Virtus could get Kevin Punter going, it would be a different story, but he's only got 1 point, but maybe this steal and fast break will get him going, and he does score. How about that? Well, that pass was telegraphed. Clark, turn around, good. As for Lamont, they really need to get something out of Eto, who's got no points, 2 turnovers and 2 assists. The drive and the basket, good by Taylor. Starting to seize the moment here. Pass to Bigot, beautiful bounce pass this time, and Yegete rather gets fouled as he goes up by his fellow Frenchman, Mbaye. Boy, that was a no doubt about it foul. This is Taylor. This is a layup drill. So from potential layup and maybe even 3-point play to missing the first free throw. It's a good idea, I think, with parents when they bring their young kids to put those headphones on those ears. You got to protect those little things. Ooh, boy, that was about as, that was a line drive attempt. Taylor again drives in, and Tony Taylor has decided it's time to turn it up a notch. First foul for Eto, who has the shiner still. He'll probably wake up tomorrow with a black eye. Taylor with 10 points now. After that, he hasn't missed a shot from the floor, and alarm bells starting to ring here in Le Mans. This opening 3 minutes have not gone well for the home team. Taylor, meanwhile, just keeps pouring in the points. He's on his season average right now. 11 points, although he's had some big games, bigger games this year. He's twice had 20 or more points. Malaya coming out, trying to cause some havoc, but it's the biggest lead of the game right now for the visitors. Shake and bake from Ray. And Clark gets the long rebound. And an offensive foul. I believe on Clark. Well, no surprise that Kelvin Martin was guarding him, making life misery for him. Here's Taylor. Now Ray. Eto for 3. Still can't get it to drop. Yegate kept it alive, and then Cam Clark puts it up and in. So Cameron Clark benefits from the Yegate hustle. And again, the ball thrown right into the hands of Ray, but a foul was called on Eto. Wow. A tough call on Eto, I think, coming from behind there. I'd have to see it again, to be honest. Now, driving in, and Martin lays it up and in. Take the lead back to 8. Bigot. Boy, nice change of direction by Bigot. And now another offensive foul called on Lamont and Bigot. And that's what Martin does. He makes, you know, he is going to get up in your face and make you do things like that to try to get some space. And it did not go unnoticed by the referee, raising the elbow. Martin for 3. Right, now Lamont need to get something going here. Ray's got it. Oh, hands it off to Bigot, and he lays it up and in. But Bigot, 14 points. Mbai. Remember, he's got 3 3-pointers already in the game. Shot clock's about to expire. He's got to put it up. And misses with a turnaround. Now Ray explodes to the basket. The follow from Yegate, not there. And the finish is there. It's good. And Taylor, so much happening in this quarter with him involved. Oh, what a runner in the basket from Bigot. Say really, I don't want to say almost single-handedly keeping this team in the game, but his contributions are just invaluable at this stage. So Morea picks up the foul, and Bigot goes to the line for a potential 3-point play. Battling for the ball, Morea gets it back after the miss. And Martin somehow called it, but he stepped out of bounds, so it goes back to Lamont. Lamont putting the pressure on.
Première semaine validée. Les mains, tout le monde.
Good reach, and Chalmers very cleverly got the contact by Kendrick Ray. Look at this. Not the first time he's come out and forced a turnover, and then on the break, he saw Kendrick Ray coming, and instead of going up for the layup, he decided he was going to make sure there was contact. Chalmers takes his time and makes the first. Well, it's going to take him some time possibly to kind of like fully understand everything about tactically, you know, getting into the flow of things. Oh boy, that's a tough one to give away for Le Mans. And the Virtus fans liking the fact that their team is going to keep the ball after the Chalmers miss. It's going to take him a while, but the early signs are that Chalmers is going to be quite a quality addition to this team. Kravic. Now Ato. Bigot goes off 1 foot again. He can do no wrong tonight. Goodness me, he's having a game. He is in a rich vein of form, isn't he? Look at this. Again, knowing the contact would come from Aradori. Mbai looks for space. Now Aradori puts it up from deep. Not much coming from Aradori tonight. He's going to get another chance. Going up against Bigot. And again, denied, and Bigot comes down with the rebound. I think Bigot might be having the best game of his career tonight. He has been terrific. So Chalmers picks up his first foul, and Kendrick Ray goes back to the line. Those devoted Le Mans fans enjoying this comeback. And the offensive rebound and the putback, and we've got a tie game. So Bigot picks up the foul. Yep, and Aradori, despite his struggles, continues to attack, and you have to applaud him for that. Maybe by seeing the ball go through the hoop at the free throw line, that'll get him on track. Bartshiki. Looks of concern. Now Ray. Bigot. Here he is, the man on a mission, the man of the moment. That time he misses everything. He thought there was going to be a foul called. Pietro Raudori, meanwhile, brings it back up. Chalmers over to Mbai, who takes the bump from Eto. Remember, Michael Thompson has got the 3 fouls, so Kendrick Ray might be staying out. That was the replay. So who's going to come in for Eto? Tarpe seems to be getting fewer minutes in this new-look Le Mans team. Now Mbai at the line. So Mbai makes 1 of 2. Some of those misses at the free throw line helping Le Mans keep the game as close as it is. Virtus tonight, 10 of 15. 10 of 15 at the charity stripe. Look at the pass and look at the finish. Great play by Hendricks and Bigot. Good defense. Kravic turns, puts it up. Oh, wow. That was not an easy shot. I'll tell you, he's made the most of his minutes tonight. 10 points in about 13 and a half minutes. Now Hendricks, he wants to go to Kravic. Anything you can do, I can do better, he says. He goes up, and only Kravic won the day as Hendricks tried to score with his left hand. Might have been guilty of forcing that one. And Bigot reaches in and commits the foul. Now look at Bigot. And that's probably the easiest 2 points he's scored all night. I mean, he has made some spectacular baskets tonight. So Kravic is at the line, who's, we talked about the bench points coming from Virtus tonight, and he's responsible for 13 of them. Excuse me, 10 of them in 13 minutes. He might not win too many style points at the free throw line, but if it's effective, why change it? So Kravic makes the second of 2. Look at this. He puts it up with one hand, and then he releases it. He came in shooting 73.9% at the free throw line. No coach is going to complain about that. Tarpe back in the game, as is Taboo, who explodes to the basket. And Taboo, if he's going to take that shot, he's got to really believe he's going to make it, even if his teammate is coming in for the offensive rebound. That wasn't really even close. Four-point game. And stepping out of bounds was Corno, and that turns it back over. I mean, you wonder about what type of chance would Le Mans have at Virtus. Virtus did blow out Filou Ostend early in the season. Here's the drive right at the end of the quarter. Is it going to count? I don't think so. Almost. It's 59-50. It's 59-55. Segafredo Virtus Bologna over Le Mans at the end of 3 quarters. Here again is a look at the last play. Ray thinking that he's going to kiss it high off the glass and get it to go in. The tap was there, but too late. 59-55, Segafredo, Virtus Bologna lead it over Le Mans after 3. Well, the stats similar. The big difference is Bologna getting to the free throw line more often, and fortunately for Le Mans fans, not making several of those chances, or else that lead would be even bigger than 4 points. Might they be able to open it up here in the fourth quarter? We'll just have to wait and see as we look at these highlights. But further to my point, if you look back at this season and you wonder, you know, I think one of the great stories of the Basketball Champions League has been the production of some of the young players, but it looks like Payola has lost his minutes to Chalmers in this Virtus team. Payola, just a teenager, has played all season, but has tonight has yet to register a single second for Virtus. So what were the chances, you know, what kind of task might they be facing at Bologna? Well, Bologna had to come from behind to win against Neptunus 83-78 on game day 1. That was a game that went to overtime. They did blow out Filou Oostin by 29 in their second game, and they won at home by 7 against Midi Bayreuth. They won at home by 6 over Strasbourg. They won by 3 over Petro Olympia. They lost by 1 to Besiktas, and they won 98-91 over Prometheus. So, you know, they're pretty good value for money from home. So, you know, this Le Mans team has to be thinking they've got to get a win tonight to take some type of lead to Bologna, because we all know what that Bologna environment is going to be like. It's going to be raucous. Those fans are devoted, they're passionate, they're crazy. It's almost worth the price of admission just to go and sit in the arena at Virtus and watch the fans. Here's Hendricks. Now Chalmers. Takes the contact by Tabou and earns a trip to the free throw line. Well, you can understand, looking at that replay, why Tabou would be frustrated. Well, Chalmers has a laugh. Over at Tabou. Taylor comes back in. So Bologna now, after that trip to the line, with a 6-point lead, 61-55. Clark, guarded by Balderossi, hits a tough baseline jumper. Pass taken away by, wow, looked like the ball was batted out of bounds by Kravich. They thought it went off of Tabou. Look at this. Well, you know what? Sometimes it goes against you, sometimes it counts for you. So Tabou perhaps a tad fortunate on that one. And now it's Le Mans trailing by 4, trying to get closer. How long will Vigo stay out of the game? He's been their man with a hot hand, but Clark suddenly starts to come to life. He's got consecutive jump shots. He likes that matchup against Balderossi. It's a 2-point game once again. Aradori. Bounce pass into Aradori from Corno. Aradori turns. Just can't get it to go tonight, Aradori. Quick pass over to Ray. Clark open. He feels it. Not enough to make it 3 jumpers in a row, however. Aradori this time. Oh. And a foul called on Ray. A block. And even Aradori wasn't quite sure how they were going to call that one. He said it could have gone either way. You could see his motion. So Ray, with his 3rd foul, takes a seat. And that brings Michael Thompson back in. So Michael Thompson might just be exactly what Le Mans needs right now. He's a player that lives for the big moment. Kravic turns. Wow, great footwork. Just didn't finish it that time. Kravic. Intriguing player, isn't he? Taboo. Feeling the push. Fans didn't like it. Hendricks turns, puts it up. Oh, he missed it again. That was one he should have had. Now Thompson for 3. Off the back of the iron. Good job by Clark chasing it down. Oh, he goes hard to the basket, but he was denied by Kravic. Boy, what a terrific game this is, folks. Look at him. He says, "You're not stopping this." But they did stop it. In fact, I think it was Balderossi who got the block. So Virtus Bologna called the timeout, and the official scorekeeper credits Dan Kravic with the block. (32-25) rebounding in favor of Le Mans.
We can't end up one now. End up. We coming off. Hey, neither in defense. We can make foul. We're only 1 foul for defense. Okay. End up and play pick and roll talk. Let's go. Hey, we good. Let's go. Have no drink.
Assist the turnovers is much better now for Le Mans. And the ball inbounded, almost got away. So right now it's Aradori Corno. And by Maria Taylor for Virtus. And this time it was Hendricks going in and being met at the rim and putting up a relatively weak effort, kind of keeping the ball away from the defense, but you got to have a better attempt than that. Now Corno misses, and Clark comes down with the ball. Oh, beautiful pass. Thompson, oh, might have just been a little too high. Aradori takes the hit, and he scores, and they're going to count it. Four fouls now on Michael Thompson and giving up the potential three-point play to Aradori. Adadori, 9 points. And suddenly the lead is 5. Taboo hands it off. Now back to Thompson. An unsportsmanlike foul hold, I think, is called on Adadori. Wow. So this is going to be 2 shots and possession. And Calatrava explaining to Adadori, oh yeah, I mean, grabbing onto the jersey of Yegate. Well, we saw Yegate miss a couple earlier in the game, but he made both of those and gets it back to a 3-point game. They're just sometimes their own worst enemy. And Taboo has the thankless task of being guarded by Martin. Bounce pass to Yegate, who drives in, and boy, that was going to be a tough shot, and he made it, and he's been bailed out by the foul called on Marea. This time Yegate goes back to his form of the first 2 free throws when he missed a couple. So he's 2 of 5 at the line tonight. Now make it 2 of 6. I think maybe the next time he goes to the line, he'll make 2. So it could have been a much better trip down the floor, but they managed to take a couple of points off the deficit. Now it's Adadori. Not sure what he was doing there, Adadori, but ends up putting up the jumper. And Marea basically just flew in there and took the ball away from Eto. Excuse me, from Tarpe. Look at this. Oh, if they reviewed that, they would give that ball to Lamont. Yeah, they are. That definitely went off Marea. But we got timeout on the floor, and really it's anybody's game right now. 64-61 in favor of Segafredo Virtus Bologna.
Hey! The first pick, it was very good, Cameron. So step under, no one-on-one. On the second one, if you feel you have to switch, you switch. Okay? Hey, now we do offense. On fait middle pick.
See the 2-point percentage for both teams.
Oui, tu viens comme ça, tu pars de là et tu viens là. Ok, pour être l'inverse. Cameron here. Work here, Cameron. Là, get on corner, là, Terry, Joe. Juice here. Ok, Joe. Ok. On fait la faute, middle pick. Allez, go, allez. Go. 1, 2, 3. Roll and up, and we go. Hey, now defense. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Sakrapani is still whistling and blowing, trying to get his Virtus team to try to put some more distance between themselves and Le Mans. They've had some moments where you thought it might happen, but Le Mans are hanging tough. Here's Taboo. Puts it up from deep. Taylor flies in for the rebound. And now Virtus. Martin drives in. Yegate with the rebound, and he's fouled by Martin, who was going for the ball. Well, I'm not sure there's a player that plays the game any harder in the Basketball Champions League than that man right there, Kelvin Martin. His intensity is off the charts. Kendrick Ray back in the game, fouled by Punter. A little bit of a shove with the left hand. And Kendrick Ray cuts the deficit back to 2. And Lamont, with those 2 free throws, cut it back to a 1-point deficit with 4:45 remaining. I mean, say what you will, but this Lamont team has really shifted into a higher gear in their last 4 games in the Basketball Champions League. We talked about their previous 3 results. They won, you know, they finished the regular season with 3 consecutive wins, and here they are taking on one of the preseason title favorites, and with a chance to take the lead. Kendrick Ray for 3. Good, they have taken the lead. Do you believe Lamont? Why not? Look at this. Ray of Hope drills it. (66-64) with this Ray three-pointer. 3 of 6 from three-point range. Five of 17 from deep for Lamont, 4 of 19 for Segafredo Virtus Bologna. And perhaps a touch of irony that he was being guarded by Kevin Punter, who's known for his three-point shooting. But tonight, Kevin Punter's 0 of 4 from three-point range. And Kendrick Ray has hit 3 of 6, as I said. So, how will Virtus respond coming out of this timeout? Well, Sacropani was preaching the defense. See if we see an improvement. There's Mbai getting it down low, and they're going to count it. What a tough move. Yegate. We had a terrific first quarter. It hasn't been quite as good since. And just hoping they might call a traveling, but he's not going to get it. And Mbai, one of the season's standout players in the Basketball Champions League, makes the free throw. Here's Ray. He's going to go right past Punter. He's going to fly in. And this time Punter did just enough to put him off the shot as Ray missed the layup. Punter wide open. Misses his 5th three-pointer of the night. Bigot gets the rebound. Thompson and Ray. Ray's catching his breath over there on the right wing, or on the wing. Here's Thompson. He puts it up. Bigot gets in there, battles for the rebound. Morea comes down with it. And now Tony Taylor. Could be Tony Taylor time. See if he puts it on the deck and goes to the basket. Nope. He's going to make the pass instead to Yannick Morea. Bigot. Maybe it's time for him to get his team back to level. Oh, beautiful dump. But Yegate trying to do a little bit too much there. And Morea goes in and draws the foul. Yegate, arguably the best player in the game in the first quarter, but now he is really struggling. He's going to take a seat.
Good fix. Là en direct, on y va en direct. Ok, Kendrick here. On met là, pick de piqueur. Tu roules deep, vite, Will, you pop out. Ok. After, if you have to come back, you come back. Pick de piqueur. Et c'est la finish. Tu y penses, tu minutes 8. Ok. Non, direct. On y va en direct, Will. Tu pars par là, tu viens en vitesse, direct. Ok, on y va en direct. Ok. Allez, go, allez.
No transition. You catch the ball.
Well, folks, it's been a barn burner. I think we couldn't have asked for a better game tonight. Certainly been a close one. 69-66, Virtus Bologna on top. But going to the free throw line with 2:22 remaining. Tomorrow night we'll have Neptunus Klaipėda at home to Hapoel Jerusalem. Prometheus at home to Iberostar Tenerife. Borussia Bamberg at home to Banvit. Antwerp at home to UCAM Murcia, and Nanterre 92 at home to Besiktas. So what a great week to be watching Basketball Champions League action here in the round of 16, and we're taking you to all of those games, and we're glad to have you. And now Morea takes a page out of Yegate's book and comes up very short, and almost also with a line drive. Almost looks like he's tired on that free throw. See if he gets a little more arc on this one. Well, he overcompensated, and that is a break for Le Mans. And inside, and Yegate answers his critics by going up and scoring. Martin, the cutter, punter, hits it and is fouled in the lane by Bigot. Martin. Terrific pass, and Bigot meanwhile picks up his fourth foul. So Thompson goes out, puts his warm-up jersey back on, and punter completes the three-point play to take the advantage back to 4. Eto'o brings it up the floor. He's not scored in the game, and that's a bummer for Le Mans. They need his scoring. Here's Ray. Passes it back out to Bigot for 3. Good! Goodness me. Just when you think maybe we've seen all we're going to see from him, he comes out and hits another three-pointer. Punter on the baseline misses, and Bigot has the ball. Boy, what a stat line he's got tonight. 25 points, 3 of 5 from deep, 7 rebounds. And the turnover The foul called on Clark. He kind of nudged in his rear end into Taylor, trying to get Ray some space, and Clark frustrated. But Tony Taylor is one crafty player. He's hard-nosed, and now he's got the ball, and he's going to take on Ato. Now the switch by Yegete. He passes down to Morea. And boy, that you're going to settle for that every time if you're Le Mans, having Morea that far away from the basket and putting up the jumper rather than getting it down low. Kendrick Ray hands it off to Yegete again. Ray with the rebound. And the final 30 seconds. Can Le Mans get a win to boost their confidence? Ray! Oh, he was fouled shooting the three by Punter. Well, he just minutes ago seen Ray pop a three-pointer right over him, so he made sure he was going to get a hand in his face, but he fouled him. And now Ray can put Le Mans back in front. He's tied it. Look at the self-belief in these Le Mans, in the faces of these Le Mans fans. They're loving it. This is big-time basketball. They seem to be peaking at the right time of the season. Ray puts Le Mans in front. Of course, they do know that they've got to go to Bologna and win it on aggregate. And Ray makes all three free throws. Kendrick Ray now 21 points. Timeout on the floor.
Regular. Mario.
Pino, andiamo dal canestro però.
Mario. Kevin. Tony. You receive the ball. Chiedi quant'è 14 o 24?
Da qui 14, da qui 22.
Okay, my fault. Here. Attenzione.
A little bit of indecision over there on the Virtus bench. Offensive rebounds, look at that. 13 for Le Mans, 5 for Virtus. Who would have thought that Le Mans would be winning this game with Ato, for example, not having scored a single point? Without Taboo having scored, without Tarpey having scored, without Michael Thompson having scored. But they've had just brilliant performances tonight, especially from Bigot, and then the usual excellence from Kendrick Ray, 21 points. And Cam Clark has given them a lift in the second half, and he's got 10 points. So the final 20 seconds coming off the clock, and you would imagine that Virtus want to have the last shot. And looks like Le Mans are going to settle to play defense here at the end. They're not going to press. What's going to be punter for three. And he misses, but then nobody boxes out Morea, who scores with the tap-in. But there's still 1.7 seconds remaining. So Le Mans are going to call timeout and try to drop a play where they can get a basket. They'll advance the ball.
Hey, Henrik here. Will. Antoine a la balle. Valentin, you go high. And till here, and after you go on the side. As soon as he pass, Cameron, you receive a back kick, and after for Kendrick, and after Kendrick on the side here to attack. Okay, Charles attack.
Donc là, il fait un back pick à Cam.
Ouais.
Back pick on Cam, and then you receive a pick. Then we'll come get you.
Number 5 is here. Number 2, number 4. No foul when you shot. No foul. Attention to the screen. Okay. Hey, no pressure here. Jump. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Et cette dixième à jour, on va avoir pas de prolongation sur le match aller de ce huitième de finale de BCL. Il n'y aura pas de prolongation uniquement sur le match retour. Donc le score peut s'arrêter là ce soir. Vos encouragements pour eux. Non.
So 1.7 seconds remaining. Eto's going to inbound it. He gets it to Ray. He puts it up. Oh, he had a chance. We're used to seeing some Kendrick Ray heroics, but what a game. That's how it finishes. No overtime since it's a two-legged affair. And the fans have watched a real good one tonight. 74-74 is how this first leg finishes between Le Mans and Segafredo Virtus Bologna. Well, Kendrick Perry had a great round of 16 game for Nizhny Novgorod. And Valentin Bigot had a big one as well tonight for Le Mans. It was just terrific. 43% inside the arc for Le Mans, 57% for Bologna. A couple more threes made by Le Mans. That both teams had their share of misses at the free throw line. The rebounding, that's something that Le Mans are going to have to continue to do. Well, we'll go away from the stats and just talk about how punter, I think he was talking to Kendrick Ray. I'll see you next week, he says. You feel for Puyola. He didn't even get in the game tonight. It's like he's put in all the hard work, and now he's going to have to sit back and watch. I'm guessing he's going to have his moment, though, at some point. Bigot, 25 points, and by 13 for Bologna. 9 rebounds apiece for Clark and Morea. Yegate with the 3 steals, punter with the 2. $21 for Ray, 10 for Clark, and Taylor had the 13 points. Kravich had 11. Well, that was a good basketball game, folks. I'm glad we're able to bring that to you, and happy that you stayed with us to watch it, because this is crunch time in the Basketball Champions League season, and we're seeing Le Mans raise their game at just the right time of the season, sensing the opportunities there. It is going to be awfully difficult for them in Italy next week. Make no mistake about it. This Virtus team is extremely tough to beat at home in the Basketball Champions League. But Le Mans will no doubt pull out everything. They will hold no punches next week when they travel to Bologna and try to get their biggest win of the season. They drew tonight, 74 apiece. Here's Kendrick Ray working some of his magic in the second half. That was the Adadori three-point play. It's all excitement here. You know, Ray and literally does give them a ray of hope, an additional ray of hope. He just seems like his presence now, coupled with the improved play of Bigot, makes this Le Mans teams twice as good as they were. I mean, they were tough. Virtus seem to have periods of play where they're not anywhere near their best, And Le Mans took advantage tonight. And we have to see 40 minutes of Virtus this season, or maybe that Basketball Champions League title is going to be too far out of reach for them. Negate had some great moments, also had some difficult moments. Look at the belief in the fans. One of the pictures of the night, without question. This is when they tried to hit the go-ahead shot at the end, and then Morea was there for the tap-in at the buzzer. Wonderful game, folks. 74 apiece. Le Mans and Segafredo, Virtus Bologna. We'll do it all again next week. Thanks for watching.